everyone, a very warm welcome to today's super interesting and very important session with me, your English master teacher Sweta Roy. So guys, today I'm going to give you top 10 tips for speaking better English. So are you super excited to know about those top 10 tips which is going to improve your English speaking? If yes, give me a quick thumbs up in the chat and let's begin with the session. Without further ado, give me a quick high five and do not forget to click on the like button. Okay, so let's get started. Before starting, don't forget to hit the like button, share the video amongst your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel in case you haven't. I'll begin with the word of the day, which is arbitrary. And why am I starting with the word of the day in today's session? Because vocabulary is a very important part when it comes to your language improvement and language speaking, enhancing your confidence. You need to have a sound vocabulary. And this practice that I do every day in each and every session is going to help you not just in the present, but throughout your lifetime. Okay, so please do not skip this part. So arbitrary is an adjective which means based on random choice. The synonym is whimsical and the antonym is rational. For example, an arbitrary decision turned out to be beneficial. So a random decision, it was a random decision, but still it turned out to be beneficial. That's what the sentence is trying to tell you. And now it's your turn, guys, to make a beautiful sentence with this particular word right now in the chat. That's really going to, that is how this word is going to delve into your day-to-day vocabulary. If you leave it unused, you might forget it. So whenever you learn a new word, guys, that's also a tip. You should use it regularly. So that was about the word of the day, and now we'll begin with the session with a riddle, with an interesting riddle. Let's see what the riddle says. Pronounced as one letter and written with three, two letters there are and two only in me. I'm double, I'm single, I'm black, blue and grey. I'm red from both ends, but the same either way. What am I? Interesting riddle, guys. Think about it. Stay tuned. We will discuss the answer at the end of the session. Okay, so now I'll start with the session, and you know that speaking English. So since this session talks about speaking fluency and the topic, the language that we are going to talk about is obviously English. So speaking English allows you to broaden your world. Why and how? Because you get ample job opportunities. It's going to broaden your horizon. What happens in major, sectors, you know the answer, but you are unable to express it. And why are you unable to express it? Because you do not have the fluency. Because your problem area is speaking the language. Most of you can write the language, but when it comes to speaking, you lose out on your fluency. So that is what we are going to improve upon, so that it could broaden our horizon, it could broaden our job opportunity, enhance our job opportunities, and it could also relate to people from every country, because English is a global language. It is a connecting language, it is a link language, so it helps us to, connect and link with various people throughout the globe. You would agree with me on that, right? So that is why it's so important to speak the language properly and improve your speaking skills. So let's see now what role English language plays in our life. So apart from self-esteem, learning English opens up various opportunities. Of course, it increases, enhances your self-confidence, and it opens up various opportunities. So let's learn some simple tips so that these tips help you to improve on speaking English, right? So the first one is learn phrases, not just individual words. So guys, If you remember, I had told you that you should collect words and find out their meaning and use them in sentences, right? Now, when you collect words, you should not do it randomly. What should you do? While you read a paragraph, I told you this earlier as well. Read a paragraph, and out of that context, you take out a word. So you learn phrases, you learn words in context, okay, and not in solitude. That is very important. So it is important that you learn words in groups. That comes for phrases. And also when you're collecting words, you collect them from something which you have read so that you know the context, you know the usage. All right. So for example, you refer to beverage as a glass of wine, a cup of tea, a pot of coffee, etc. It is better to learn those phrases than merely wine, coffee, tea, etc. So this is how we would learn the phrases instead of learning the words in solitude. I hope you've got the first one. The next very important tip is improving your pronunciation. Now, this is very important. You might know a lot of words, you might have an excellent vocabulary, but sometimes what happens is we fail to pronounce them correctly. Okay, so while using online dictionaries like Macmillan, Merriam-Webster, these are very, very good online dictionaries. So you can use these dictionaries. While using them, there is a speaker symbol. Okay, if you've ever used these dictionaries, so there's a speaker symbol. Please click on that and learn the pronunciation so that you can pronounce the word correctly. You do not make a mistake in pronunciation. The third tip is contractions. Contractions are shortened form, so you need to know the contractions as well, right? The fourth tip is you can pick your favorite video or any movie that you want, any Netflix series, any movie that you want with subtitles. Obviously, when I talk about movies or series, I'm talking about the English ones, right? So listening helps a lot in speaking. Listening, speaking, they are very, very correlated and interrelated to each other. So that is why I always tell you, when you watch videos of your English lessons, listen to it in English. Why? Because only if you listen to your chapters being taught in Hindi or any other language, what happens is that remains embedded in your mind, and then when you write, you cannot write. It comes in Hindi, whatever you have heard, whatever video has been played, right? If you would have heard that in English, then when you write any answer to any question, the sentences would automatically come in English. Now you understood why I always tell you to listen to the chapters being taught in English, never in Hindi. It is going to hamper you guys. I'm not talking about any other subject, but just for the English lessons. And that is the importance of speaking. Okay, so listening. So listening and speaking are very correlated. And then, of course, writing. Writing is also interrelated with listening and speaking. So, you can, when you're watching a video, you're listening to it many times. Okay, this is called speech shadowing. What you do is you imitate the narrator. Okay, sentence by sentence. Play, listen, pause, speak, record. Now, recording is optional, but if you can do that, it's going to really improve. It's going to be beneficial. Trust me on that. Now, the fifth point is the most important point again, thinking in English. Now, if you think in English, it takes less time to produce or respond to everyday conversations. So mostly what people do is, while speaking, they translate. First, they think in their mother tongue, then they translate into English. That is where the entire fluency is gone. The translation process takes place. Our brain takes time to translate. It's not that easy, right? So this is where we go wrong, and that is why we lose our fluency, right? So it's very important to think in English, and then it produces less time. So when you listen to English, you automatically start thinking. Okay, so a good way to start rethinking is to keep a diary where you can express your thoughts every day in English. It does not have to be perfect. You can make mistakes. It's more about getting thoughts in English with less effort. That's very, very important. Now, the sixth point is also going to help you. That is Google Assistant and Siri. If you use these Google Assistant and Siri, it's a machine. You cannot rely on environment always for clues and facial gestures to get your ideas across. Right. So your words are the only tools you have to make yourself understood. So you need to speak as clearly and precisely as possible. So these are the two advantages. I mean, these are the advantages of using Google Assistant and or Siri, whatever is available. Next is speak slowly. Okay. Now, if you speak slowly, it would have two advantages. One, it gives you more time to think. What are you going to say next? And then it gives clarity to your speech, and the other person can understand. Right? Do not think that if you do not speak very fast, you do not sound like a native speaker. No, that's not true. Speak slowly, take your time to think and, uh, think and narrate what you want to say. And then it also gives clarity to your speech. The next one is if you forget a word, use other words. It often happens while speaking, we lose words. We tend to, fall short of words, right? So in that case, do not get intimidated. Think of another word. Okay, use another word instead of the word that you have forgotten. Don't keep trying to think about the word that you've forgotten. That will take up your time and you would lose the fluency, right? And then communication is more important. Grammar is, of course, important. I'm not saying that grammar is not at all important. You need to be grammatically correct. But at the same time, communication, fluency while speaking is very, very important. And finally, guys, the final tip that I have for you is relax and have a positive and confident attitude. Do not be intimidated. Do not be nervous. Do not say my English is terrible or sorry, my English, I have very bad, sorry for my bad English. These are negative comments. And don't think that if you say this honestly, you are going to be applauded for that. No. Okay, they're not going to help you in any way. So rather than saying my English is bad or my English is terrible, sorry for my bad English, improve on it and think that you can do it, right? So have a positive mindset, have a positive attitude, and yes, guys, you will definitely be able to improve on your speaking skills and communication skills if you follow these 10 steps religiously. Trust me on that. So, guys, that was all for today's session. We have given you 10 very important tips, which is definitely going to help you out. So, now tell me what is the correct answer for this riddle. I hope you've got the answer. Yes? So, tell me quickly what have you got for the answer in the chat so that I can quickly check out. Okay? So, it is letter E. How? See? Pronounced as one letter and written with three. With three, you have E, right? Two letters are there. Sorry, two letters there are and only two in me, right? And two only in me. I'm double, I'm single, I'm black, blue, gray. So I'm red from both ends. But so, yeah. So that is how it is E. Right, guys? So I hope you enjoyed the session and I hope this helps you in your day-to-day life, not just for your present, but throughout your life. So thank you so much. Take care. Do not forget to share this video amongst your friends. And we'll see you again in the next session. Bye-bye. Thank you.